True or false, the average wedding in the United States costs over $30,000. Normally when I look up these memes, the answer is false, but in this case, it is true. It's actually closer to $35,000, and given that the average wedding lasts 6 hours, that's almost $6,000 an hour for the average wedding in the United States. You can find a list in your state here, from Alabama to Nebraska, and Nevada to Wisconsin, average wedding cost. You can also find the average cost in the United States in this map here, and you'll see that the figures are slightly different because this map is from 2023. The figures earlier are from 2025, and average wedding costs in the United States have fluctuated between $30,000 and $35,000. What is the source for all this information? I'm glad you asked. The source for most of the memes that you'll see online that the average wedding in the United States costs $35,000 starts with this story from CNBC. And to be exact, the figure for the $35,000 wedding in the United States comes from this paragraph right here. This link right here, it'll take us over to the Knot, who surveyed over 14,000 couples to come up with the average cost of wedding cost in the United States. One important thing to note about that $35,000 cost is it tends to be spread out over 1 to 3 years. As you can see here in this figure, couples start talking about the proposal as early as 1 year before the actual proposal, or if you want to include the 6 to 12 months before proposal, 1 year to a half a year before actually starting to even plan for the wedding. So if they started saving for the wedding at this time, that $35,000 might be spread out over 1, 2, or up to 5 years. So instead of spending $35,000 on one day, that is the total cost of the wedding, it might be spread out through these years. Couples might also finance or get a line of credit for their weddings, and a lot of couples are also supported by cost being borne by their families or cost being taken over by their families in some very unique cases. Which is why the Wall Street Journal concluded that maybe marriage and weddings are for the rich. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and let's see how we got to that $35,000 wedding cost according to the Knot. The Knot also has a helpful story on what your wedding budget should look like, and this gives us a breakdown of the average wedding budget and how people spend $35,000 on their wedding. As someone who is married, I can tell you however much you think you're going to pay for a wedding, take that, set it to the side, and double or triple it, and you'll still come under budget. With that being said, this is a helpful chart of how much the average wedding costs in the United States and how you can break down or cut your costs. As you see here, almost 50% of your wedding cost is just for the venue at 27%, catering, cake, and drinks, thanks to those people like us who had an open bar. 50% of your wedding budget can be saved if you're willing to give up the venue, catering, open bar, and drinks. Then going around in the other 50% of the budget, some of the top areas are going to be your photography, floral and decoration, music, attire and beauty, wedding rings, wedding planner, which I strongly suggest you do no matter what the cost, you still get the wedding planner, and then other costs for less than 10%, guest entertainment, transportation, stationery, and officiant. For those of you looking to cut down on your wedding costs, some of those bigger drivers are going to be your average guest size. So if you want to cut down on wedding costs, you can have a smaller wedding, as well as wedding party size and smaller vendors. They also go into honeymoon, destination weddings, which in some cases will drive up the cost of your overall wedding. And then they have a breakdown of cost per guest over the years from 2019 to 2024. As I mentioned, with the average wedding in the United States ranging between $30,000 and $35,000 between 2019 and 2024. Lastly, if you need more help, they do have that budget template from the Knot that you can download online. It's available in Google and Google Sheets, and when you click the link on the website, which I'll link in the video description below, it'll take you here. It'll download this Google spreadsheet where you can adjust the figures or percentages, and hopefully you can keep your wedding under budget or under $35,000. Now, why do people still get married? An essay from the Wall Street Journal actually dropped this week suggesting that American women are giving up on marriage, citing that major demographic shifts have put men and women on divergent paths. One of the statistics that the Wall Street Journal focused on is that women are increasingly, although it's not a new trend since almost the last 20 years, getting more college degrees than men. So women looking for men who also have college degrees have a much smaller population of men to marry. Forbes did find that when these women choose to or are married, college-educated women do have the longest lasting marriages. And as I said earlier, actually more men than women are looking for long-term relationships, with 30% of single women looking for romance compared to about half of men. I will clarify that that is all men, keeping in mind that as someone asked me on Instagram when I posted this infographic, where I post all the infographics featured in this video, that is young men, which I think their cutoff was for ages 18 to 25. And they said that there's about twice as many single men in that age group as there are single women. However, there are more total men looking for relationships than there are men, as found in this study when looking at all men across all age ranges. And when we then look at men ages 18 to 25, about half have never approached a woman in real life. I decided to go backwards, and this might be helpful for your marriage. Let's go back to look at why couples marry. Here are your top 10 reasons why couples marry. At number 1 is financial security, and actually at number 3 is love. And before I end this introduction, we can look at side by side why couples marry and why couples divorce. For the rest of this video, I'll give you the biggest factors for getting married, 13 signs that your marriage may be at risk at divorce, and some resolutions for how to correct before you go down the route of divorce, and the biggest factors or reasons for getting divorced. Once again, if you're in a long-term relationship, please leave a comment below and share with us, and I'm defining that as over 10 years, how you have been able to find or make your marriage succeed. And if you are divorced, as I said earlier, 95% of the divorced believe their marriage could have been saved. Please drop a comment below and let us know if you agree with that stat. And if you do agree that your marriage could have been saved, what are some other routes that you would have taken? I'll also drop a video below about how to find a therapist, which I made earlier this year, because please consult with a medical professional or a marital counselor if you are watching this video and you want to either salvage your marriage or you're leaning towards getting married. You can also do marital counseling for premarital counseling. Here are your top 10 reasons why couples divorce, with lack of family support falling at number 1, infidelity at number 2, lack of compatibility, and lack of intimacy tied for number 3. Again, keeping in mind that 95% of the divorce said that marriage could have been saved, we must look at this list again with a new lens and see that maybe many of these, perhaps besides domestic violence and extramarital affairs, perhaps are forgivable or salvageable. I decided to go backwards, and this might be helpful for your marriage. Let's go back to look at why couples marry. Here are your top 10 reasons why couples marry. At number 1 is financial security, and actually at number 3 is love. Because we're talking about divorce, it also makes sense to talk about what marriage looks like in the United States. There's what Americans imagine marriage looks like, and unfortunately, it looks nothing like that in the land. Here is, according to a study from Pew Research, the best age to get married, become a parent, and purchase a home according to Americans. On average, Americans say the best age to get married is 26 and a half. On average, Americans say the best age to become a parent is 27. And on average, adults say the best age to purchase a home is around 29 years old. Unfortunately, the reality in America looks nothing like that. In fact, the median first-time home buyer just reached a new record high at 38 years old. And to buy a home in the United States, which costs over $400,000, which I talked about in another video about home prices have increased astronomically. Astronomically, is that a word? I'm gonna leave it in. In fact, the NBC News found that you need about $100,000 to afford a home across the United States now, because home prices have increased so much. First-time home buyers' age is 38 years old with a median household income of around $97,000. And overall, for first, second, 3, 4, 5 are investors. In fact, the median age is over 50 years old, another new record high. So what does marriage look like in the United States? Here's a map of the U.S. From USA Facts, looking at age of first marriage. It still is around 30, but it is the highest that it's ever been, with men marrying at around 30.5 and women marrying around age 28.6 at age of first marriage. I will point out here that marriage rates and divorce rates have been decreasing in the United States, and both are at their near lowest rates or lowest peak in the United States. And less people are having children. In 1993, about 60% of individuals in their 30s would have had at least one child in the household. Now it's almost the complete opposite, with 75% of individuals in their 30s not having children. And to wrap up our marriage talk, as you can see here, by age 40, a new record high of individuals in the United States had never married. In fact, about a quarter of individuals in the United States will reach age 40 having never said, "I do."